Hello, welcome to the Death Battle cast, and happy Pride Month. We are the cast and crew of Death Battle. I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz.
I'm Josh. I'm a writer and editor.
Perfect in the order. I'm Chad. I play Boomstick.
Hi, and I'm Issa.
Hey, Issa's joining us. If you don't know who she is,
tell him.
Yeah, that's valid. I might as well introduce myself. I'm a lead animator and director for the Rooster Teeth's 2D animation department. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
It's me.
And what have you been working on lately?
We've been working on Camp Season 4.
Which just premiered.
I'm ready, guys.
Yeah, you should definitely check out the new Camp season, as well as thank you to our sponsors. We got two of them for this week's episode. Thank you to Hims and Bespoke Post for helping us keep the lights on here. We'll have more about them and some great deals you can get later on in the show.
Every time you say that, I secretly hope the lights will go out right as you say
Oh,
that.
it'd be so good.
One of these days, you guys are going to plan something.
I was going to say, it's like, Jerron to do it.
I don't say it every time.
He doesn't say it every time.
You guys are going to plan it for a day that I don't say it. Yeah. You got to just be ready every single day now.
Exactly. Trigger button.
All right. So we'll be talking about Camp. And what you do in a little bit. Yeah. But first things first, we are the Death Battle cast. So we have a Death Battle coming up very soon. This is Weiss versus Mitsuru.
Also,
Ruby versus Persona.
Very glad Issa's on this episode because Issa's a huge Ruby fan.
It's me.
Issa and I used to host Ruby Rewind together.
That's right.
Yep. And
This is the reunion special.
I know, it's great. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I miss getting to do a show with these every week.
Yeah, I told Chad, fuck you.
For season 2.
So it's like, yeah, that's great.
Well, that's
off to a
because
great start.
You got brought into the actual process of like making sure like the lore of Ruby is right.
Yeah. Starting like last volume or volume 6. Time is an illusion. I'm trying to remember when that was. Around last year. So kind of just going over scripts, just making sure that things are a-okay, et cetera. Honestly, I feel like I contribute the least out of everyone. I'm just like, oh, this sounds really good, guys.
But make sure everything comes together and sticks to the established continuity, essentially, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of for me. It's a lot of feeling like, oh, I feel like this part may not necessarily be like great, or it's like, oh, I think you could like speed it up a little bit more, but they have a good dedicated like group now of people who give feedback for the scripts.
Nice. Yeah, and so she couldn't host the show anymore because she knew everything.
Yeah, I can't.
For Rewind season 2, were you just standing by the cameras like mugging everybody as they shot it all? That's what I'd like to pretend.
That's your headcanon. I'm not going to tell you anything so that way you think about that all the time.
Texting spoilers to him mid-show.
But it's funny. No, Ruby Rewind was hard on her because she would already like her original process was like she'd be in the server just waiting for like a script version to drop. And she'd read through it, and then you had to stop that.
I did. They would tell me like, oh, by the way, these scripts are. I'm like, okay. click. Yeah.
Well, then you are one of the experts for Ruby, so I'm curious. How do you think Weiss is going to do in this death battle?
I want her
to
win.
You know how this ends.
I kind of do.
Okay, we can't talk about this because then you might.
But,
we don't want to spoil the ending.
We don't want to spoil it, but I'm also like, just so everyone knows, I'm Team Weiss for this one.
Sure.
Weiss
I mean, that does bring up a good point. We are owned by Rooster Teeth. We are Rooster Teeth, so this is a Rooster Teeth character, but that doesn't change the fact that Death Battle is meant to be a non-biased show.
That's right.
That dedicates itself to figuring out who would win in a fight, regardless of who owns them or what their popularity is. We've had
one more for the people in the back.
We've had plenty of episodes where the more popular character does lose. So I feel like we've proved ourselves more often than not on this, but it's understandable that people will look at this episode and be like, well, of course Weiss is gonna win because it's Rooster Teeth, or well, of course Weiss is gonna lose because they want us to think that they're not biased, or something like that. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of comments like that. Whatever.
Can't please them all.
Right. I remember actually one of my first death battles was Yang versus Tifa.
Yeah.
And one, I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. One, so that's one. But two, when Yang won that time, I was just like, oh, interesting. That is a valid point.
It's still one of my favorite deaths in all of Death Battle.
Yeah.
I just walked in. Ben and Torian were in Torian's corner. I can still picture it of that office, at our old office. I just kept walking up, and then you guys are just like, we're just trying to find a cool death. I'm like, she's got shotgun arms, right? And they're like, you're like, yeah. I'm like, what if? I was like, Torian did such a good job bringing it to life. It's so
Pretty
cool.
brutal. Yeah, that was years ago. I think that was before we were actually part of Rooster Teeth.
Yes,
We were
that was
under- we
before
might have
I was even
known-
hired.
We
by
were under
Rooster
full
Teeth.
screen,
Oh,
so
wow.
I think we were under RT at that point.
it was right
That was before I got
don't know,
hired by
whatever.
Rooster Teeth because I remember I was just getting into Volume 2 for Ruby, and that was I think you guys did like cross promotion with each other at that point. I'm
Yes, that's
inclined
right.
to
Because we
think.
were kind of promoting season 3, sort of.
Yes, that's
we had a
right.
Vital Festival poster.
Was it
in
really
the
Volume
thing.
3 that we were promoting back?
Yes.
Wow, that's been a
Yeah.
while.
That was Volume 3, which was before we were technically part of the Rooster Teeth family, but I
But you
think
were in full
Full
under
Screen was purchasing Rooster Teeth at the time.
Yes.
But Torian was already talking with all the animators, so I feel like we were under them. I don't know.
We
whatever.
had already
They're
connected with
friends.
Monty at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like we had been to RTX
Yeah.
twice at that point, I think.
I could imagine.
Yeah. So he was in contact with a bunch of
Yeah.
them regardless.
That was so nice just because we got access to like all the models and everything that we
yeah.
Yes.
needed. And then also we could literally like talk to the creators about the
Yeah.
character.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That was and this is like early Death Battle compared to what we do now.
Yeah.
So it was just Torian on animation, no big animation
That's
team. I think that one was written by me, by me. I can't really remember, but I think that was before we had the research team officially on and actually being paid. So like, old school Death Battle
Before
style.
us, Josh.
Yes, definitely.
Nowadays the process is a lot cleaner. So,
The research team is so helpful.
yes.
That's for
Yes,
damn sure.
absolutely.
Not like, hey, is that animation gonna be done in like the next 3 hours when the episode airs? Because that'd be cool.
It's pretty much how every single episode went back then. I still remember the Pokemon versus Digimon episode where we were
won?
like, it was Red and his Charizard versus Tai and Agumon. And we had planned this fun little ending, but it got to be a very complicated battle, and so I think we aired that one live. We did like a Death Battle live stream or something like that. And so Torian finished the animation literally like a couple hours before the live stream,
And we had to
and we were like, all right, here we go. Whatever you got, we just got to air it. And it's the most brutal ending we could possibly be.
There's supposed to be a thing at the end to like take away some of the tension, but then also, Torian added like a bunch of extra like blood.
Oh
shit.
my
Yeah.
god. I'm tired.
It was bad.
I'm
It's like
suddenly exhausted.
so we just took like these two just things that meant so much to people's childhoods, and it was just ended on brutal child murder. It was so bad. Anyway,
We were talking about like Ben taking a nap, and now I want to take a nap. We can take turns sleeping.
Yeah.
Talking about child murder makes you want to take a nap?
Let's move on.
All right. Well,
let's erase that.
we have a sneak peek. I
we
just
do.
realized this-
We have a little sneak peek
what it
of
says on screen.
the Weiss
yeah.
versus Mitsuru fight, the animation. So let's just go ahead and bring that up. Check it out.
Hurry.
Such good form. You fight with a sense of ease. Thank you, but flattery will get you nowhere. Fighting me with ice? Ironic. And a waste of time. Artemisia! Can't touch me, Ice Queen! Huh, so that's what it's like.
Cool.
So soon, June 10th.
Oh my gosh.
So soon.
We got to get ready, guys.
that looks
finish
so
it.
good.
We have to finish it 2 hours
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. How hyped was Torian working on this? Because I feel like this is just right.
Torian was the animation director for this one, but we had a whole host of animators helping out with this, as well as plenty of the Ruby team.
Oh, cool.
Helping out with the modeling and the shading and making sure that it looked like a Ruby fight. They did such a good job. I'm very proud of the team for what they did with this.
It looks so pretty.
As well as the voice actors for this is there's something a little special about this one. So Kara Eberly, the voice of Weiss from Ruby, did reprise her role. But we also got the voice of Mitsuru is Corey Pettit, who some people might recognize as Maxifant Corey.
Wow, you're bringing that up
way
from a million years
ago. Way back when in Screw Attack history.
So yeah, Corey used to work for Screw Attack for a long time, and lately she's been just doing other stuff. And then I knew she got into voice acting. It's funny because she'd been texting me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I think she took Chris Rager's class and Chris Savitt's class and stuff, and then she's been saying how she wanted to do more. And then out of the blue, like when I was asking if, like, when I knew this fight was coming up, I was like, oh, did we get Kara to do Weiss? And then they're like, oh, yeah. And did you know that Corey's Mitsuru? I was like, what? Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was great. So she's apparently been doing some stuff with Sound Cadence for a while now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the way we do casting is we work with a company in Dallas, Sound Cadence Studios. And they typically do a lot of our casting, and that's how we get a lot of the Funimation talent, the Dallas talent. And so, as always, I send the casting information over to Marissa at Sound Cadence, and
did she suggest?
She sends back. The way it always works is she sends back options. Right. Typically, sometimes if there's one who's like clearly the best, she'll just send that one over. So she sent over the audition of the best Mitsuru.
Oh my God!
And I was looking at it and listening to it and thinking, this voice sounds really familiar. What's the name? Oh, that's Corey. Corey? Is it the Corey? And I emailed, and she was like, "Yes, it is." I thought you'd get a kick out of that. That was great.
Funny.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it was a nice little surprise. So they did an awesome job, though. And actually, I get a lot of questions from people about how you can get into voice acting and potentially voice for Death Battle. If you go to soundcadencestudios.com, you can see they actually do take demo submissions. So if you have a demo reel, you can submit to them. And if you're good, then they can put you in the list of people to send auditions to. So just a thing that you can check out if you want.
Yeah.
Throwing that into the universe.
Yeah.
I remember we were in the booth. We recorded an episode there. I think it was Red versus Blue episode. And then they were just like, will you do some extra voices? Because we had some bit parts. And I ended up voicing like 2 different perverts. And I was like, what are you saying?
Well, Chad. Well, Chad.
Well, we also have, I believe we have a little piece of fan art to check out from King Koopa 121. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
Oh, yeah, this is really cool.
I think I know what this
I saw
is.
this on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's
My
great.
favorite part is Weiss looks very shocked.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, well, when you're fighting a redhead who also summons things, like, I don't think she was expecting this giant armored night lady thing to pop out of the ground.
this is true.
Yeah, it looks great.
That's very cool.
Yep.
We love showing off art like that, so you can always send us that to either us on Twitter or #DeathBattleCast. We'll definitely see it. All right. So, for Weiss Mitsuru, that airs next week, Monday, June 10th, is for first members, and then Wednesday, June 12th, is for the YouTube release. So, go ahead and check that out when it comes out.
I'm going to go watch the fight right after this. I'm just telling you now.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it on Josh's computer.
Yeah, actually, and Josh, you edited and wrote this episode alongside Sam.
Yeah. We
Oh,
co-wrote
cool.
this one, then I edited this one. Yeah. It was a fun one.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
very cool to get to play with a Ruby character. So excited to do that.
So
Josh.
we obviously can't talk too much about the episode because it's not out yet. But next week we will definitely be kind of diving into the behind the scenes of the episode, the production. I'm sure we'll have you on for that one as well.
Cool.
And then we'll have a Q&A the following week. That's kind of the schedule we're doing now. So I guess right now is a good time to jump into our first sponsor.
All right, let's do it. This is mine?
This is yours.
Great.
Yes, hymns.
All right, cool. So here's the deal. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35.
That's terrible.
Which was a shocking fact for me to find out about. The thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it can be too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. And for some reason, a lot of guys tend to turn to weird solutions or just don't do anything when there are medicine and science that can help. And the solution is Hims. That's forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. So I had a chance to hop on with the founders of Hims, a call way back when they started sponsoring us. And it was really cool because there's a lot, like when it comes to issues like hair loss or like sexual performance or things like that, a lot of times it can be uncomfortable for people. They feel embarrassed or maybe that there's not a solution and they don't want to go into the doctor. And that's kind of why they founded the company. Was to help provide solutions to people who help them get past that awkward step, right? And so, thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. They offer well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. There's no snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. It's prescription solutions backed by science. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor's visits. You just answer a few quick questions, and a doctor will review, and they can prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door. As a Death Metal Cast viewer or listener, audio version, you guys get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last, and subject to doctor approval. See the website for full details. This could cost you hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy or somewhere else. Go to forhims.com/cast. That's forhims.com/cast. forhims.com/cast. Thanks, Hims.
All right. Now's a good time to talk about what's going on.
Yay!
I get it.
Finally!
I get it.
Somebody actually got the reference for once. Oh my gosh.
I was like, I stopped singing because I was like, I don't know if we can sing on these anymore. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, great.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Camp Camp.
Hi, it's me. It's me, Camp Camp.
It's me, Camp Camp. Yeah, I was just about to say.
Well, Camp Camp, can you tell us a little bit about Camp Camp for the viewers at home who don't really know what Camp Camp or who Camp Camp is?
Who Camp Camp is. Great. So Camp Camp is a 2D animated show that we do here at Rooster Teeth. It is an episodic comedy show about...
really funny.
Thank you.
So
Oh my
funny.
God. Thank
I mean,
you.
it's
Oh my
kind of
God.
funny.
It's kind of funny.
A little bit.
It's an episodic comedy show about a group of
Campers.
Sorry, I've never had to summarize this. It's about a group of campers who go to the summer camp run by a guy who's basically swindling their parents of all their money. So each different camper has signed up for a different camp. So it's about like all their misadventures.
So there's a space camp, magic camp, like all sorts of everything. Right?
Exactly.
But then
all
they
sorts
realize
of
that
everything.
they're all terrible. And
Yes,
it's just
it's like underfunded and there's only two counselors who are like one is super overqualified and the other one is like just loves camp. So it's about this idea of like kind of the cynical versus the optimist. The optimist David, the camp counselor, who's just trying to get Max, our main character, this young camper who's like a young 10-year-old cynic.
Yeah, very disgruntled.
Very disgruntled. A cat, my son. Other titles pending. It's about a lot of the crux of the show is about their relationship and how they always affect each other in certain ways and how they end up like changing each other's viewpoints.
Yeah, there's also a side narrative of the armies of woodland creatures in the forest.
Yes.
Those are pretty great.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. There ends up being this lore about like what happens in this like setting because Camp takes place in this place called Sleepy Peak. And it's this backwoods, like not very populated area because you're in the middle of camp. It's summer camp. So it's these kids. Season 1 is all about them like trying to leave. And then season 2 and 3, there's lots of different themes. Season 4, we're talking about change. And can a person really change? For better or for worse, especially since it's 4 seasons now. Don't be intimidated by it being 4 seasons. Each episode's like 15 minutes. And I mean, it all builds on top of each other, so you really fall in love with the characters.
It's also not really a show that requires you to have watched all of the show in order to
You can
just
pick
jump
up,
into
yeah.
any episode.
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get the premise. But that said, for all the little inside jokes and history,
Yeah.
you should watch it all. Also, it's like probably one of the best things this company's ever made.
Really?
Thanks, Chad!
So true.
Aw.
Yeah. No, but seriously, it's really funny. So if you guys haven't watched Camp Camp, you can do that on roosterteeth.com.
There's a reason why it's on season 4.
Yeah.
It's clearly doing great.
Yeah.
It's clearly awesome.
So we're airing season 4 now. First members, the first week. First week is for first members, and then after that, it'll be available to the public.
Nice.
Need to say that because some people did not know. Sorry, guys, you have to wait, or buy first.
There you go.
Why not?
It also has an incredibly great intro song that plagues Miles forever.
Yes.
Miles, one of the writers for Ruby, he plays David, the camp counselor, and the intro song is insane. And they wrote it where he just has to rattle off all these different things.
Yes.
And it now, like, whenever he's at an event, someone's like, sing the Camp Camp theme, and he's just like, damn it. Like, well, what's funny is so when we were doing RTX last year, we had Anim Fest, and Austin and I were talking about a dumb promo, like a fun little dumb promo that we could do.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were like, what if
This,
we did the Camp Camp intro song but promoting Animation Fest?
That's
So
right.
Austin and I wrote it, and then I got Miles to agree to go and do it. But now, when I hear that, like the lyrics to the Animation Fest promo
Instead of the Camp Camp
instead of the
song.
Camp Camp thing, it's like there's a place I know at RTX, a place called Animation Fest with what is it? It's like with fun and guests and damn it and lots of guests who are the best. And, oh man. Anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
I fucked it up. I'm really
This was your
tired
time to
today.
shine.
It was.
Anyway, that's Camp Camp.
Animation Fest at the JW. Yeah.
Oh God.
We got things to show in screening rooms like pilot shorts and new cartoons, and panels from our guests and crew. And yes, they'll all be meeting you. Thought a lot about it, and there's lots of stuff to do.
Oh yeah, and you made your own list.
Yep, we've got, and then just like rattle off all of our guests.
yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Good game.
That was a fun little side story that I fucked up initially, but brought it back in the end. Maybe.
Assist from
High
assist from
five.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, all right, and you are directing Camp Camp. a
Yes,
few
I'm one
episodes
of
this
the
season, right?
directors this season.
It's awesome. So how's that going for you?
It's great. Being a director is something I've always set my sights on. Fun tip, everyone. If you want to be a director, get your foot in the door.
And refuse to leave.
I figured animation or being an animator was my way of getting into it, and I'm very fortunate.
So you went from lead animator to director, right?
Yeah, I started in RT just as an animator. Then I became lead in my first year, and then now I'm a director. Yay!
She does it all.
I do it all.
Have you voiced a character yet, though?
Oh, I voiced like a couple of one-offs.
Bit characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got one of those in there. I played the magician.
That's right. I remember. Oh my god. It was a bit character. I think it was season 3, episode 1. It was the old lady goes, "Who's that? What's happening?" And that was me. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not
Awesome,
gonna."
nailed it. So
I'm not
animating, directing, voicing.
Wow.
There you go. You're a voice actor.
You're right. It's like waking up. I was like, I want to be a writer, and I wrote, I am a writer. So I got the opportunity to direct a few episodes this season. Jordan Swears and I are heading a good chunk of this season, but we also have
Heralding kind of
Yeah,
works.
we're-
kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Joe Nicolosi of RBB. Joe Nicolosi to direct a couple of episodes this season. Miles Luna has directed one as well. And upcoming Jordan Battle will also be directing an episode this season.
A lot of people in that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's been great. That's one of the things that I know has been a big focus on in the company is like expanding that, because everybody's very busy, and like when our directors and writer pool was very small, sometimes that could cause other things to slow down, and then the animators are like, for the love of God, like
Please make a decision, someone.
Lots of
animate
moving
this.
pieces.
Yes.
Right.
Lots of moving pieces.
So that's a really good quality of life thing, and it gives a lot of people
The
more opportunities.
Yeah. We were in season 1. We were one of the first productions to start the writers' room for animation. So it was that season 1. It was Carrie, Miles, Gray, and Jordan Swears. That really jump-started how the rest of Camp Camp ended up looking like, and then also now we kind of have this precedent of it's a whole collaboration. It's a big group effort. And we always.
The only downside to Camp Camp is that when we recently moved where we were at in the building, but where we used to be, we had our precious meeting room And some people, we knew it was camp time because our meeting room started getting booked out, and then they're in there doing their writers meetings, and you just hear just laughter and just loud noises, like Issa's laugh, which is very distinct, like you know, or like Miles too.
Oh
like,
yeah, 100.
Yeah, and Miles is always at 1,000. So yeah, that's the only downside of camp. They go and steal your meeting room, and then it'd be very loud because they're having so much fun.
And then the downside is you also want to have fun.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
but also we don't have stuff spoiled because we all like love the show.
Yeah.
And so like they'll be like, "What if David?" I'm like, "No!" Like, you know, like we'll go in and stuff will be written on the whiteboard.
Oh yeah,
it happen all the time.
Yeah, I remember.
The stuff we could show if we took pictures.
Oh, I know.
These buildings.
Yeah.
Austin came up to me right before, and he's just like he was like, "Be nice to Issa." I'm like, "Of course." And then he's like, "No spoilers." So anyway, how does this end? This whole thing.
How does Max die at the end of the season?
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually slow, quiet. You know, you're a little sad, but
In the end, he was poisoned by the platypus.
yeah, exactly. See, with the
He's been slowly
poisonous-
dying this whole time.
Isn't it true? The platypuses.
Platypussies.
Platypussies.
Oh.
100% Ben. You are 100% correct. I'm the only one excited to say that in this entire room. Platypussies.
She's just gonna keep
Yeah,
doing
I'm
it.
gonna keep saying it.
If that appears in an episode of Camp
venomous
Camp, I get writing credit,
yeah,
okay?
Of course, yes, okay. I'll keep that in mind, Ben. Don't they have like a poisonous left back foot?
Yes, they have a venomous barb.
Yeah.
Wait, only one of the
One
it's only
foot.
the back left
Is
foot
it
or
the
whatever?
female or the male?
Look at the creature, Josh. There was no.
There was one.
How's it just one?
It's a beaver duck. There was
why are
no
you questioning
thought.
this, Josh?
Like, it was created from the leftover parts of other animals, dude.
Like, it's so strange.
I'm surprised you did not know.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No. Don't know
Yeah,
anything
it's
about
like
platypus.
one flipper foot
Yeah.
has this like barb,
Yeah.
like thumb thing going on.
Well, it seems inconvenient.
Go on.
Inconvenience, like
for
one
him,
term.
for everyone
that you
else?
could- No, for
Just
I mean, it's like a
does
duck
that benefit?
beaver
Yeah.
thing hippo creature.
Like, the
Like
hippo get in there.
just the way it floats looks like the top of a hippo.
Oh, got it.
almost.
Okay.
Like
And then, like,
it's
sometimes
weird.
you're just like, why does it exist? Why should it exist? I
Right.
don't know.
And it's the mascot.
And it's the
For
mascot.
Camp.
Yeah, it's got like the paws of a platypus. They're
Yeah.
terrifying looking.
Yeah, dude.
They're like a rat's paw, but giant.
With webbed.
And they're webbed. Ugh.
It's an awful creature. I can't stress that enough.
I can't stress that enough.
You don't question anything
there you
about
go.
it. It's all weird and a mystery.
It's called a spur.
Oh.
It's called a spur because it's
Oh,
actually
that's
in the
valid.
back.
You know, yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
like spurs of a boot.
Okay. Damn it. I just said don't question it, and then my mind went to a terrible place.
oh, good.
Let's move on.
But what does its penis look like?
Isn't it? Well, ducks have a corkscrew penis. I know that.
See?
Oh God.
I imagine if there's true horror out of any
I mean,
anything, and we had a whole conversation about bird dicks when Sam was here,
we did.
or
It was
their lack
strange.
thereof. You can talk to Sam about it later. Apparently, like almost no birds have dicks.
I mean, I don't have to talk to Sam about it.
I'm just saying.
And thanks for the option, but also.
Do I Google it?
You
I
could.
do have a computer in front of me.
You could, but you're probably gonna get some fan art first. I hope to God it.
I'd
Prompt
probably
for-
prefer that,
prompt for-
honestly.
It's just
over
gonna be
a
like
picture.
Perry the platypus, just like
Oh, maybe I wouldn't.
Guys, there's Rule 34 of that already.
wait
Do you not know?
of the
Oh,
camp
of
camp
course there
platypus?
is.
No, a Perry.
Oh, I figured that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I for some reason was thinking that like there was
Oh
already
no,
Rule 34 of the
I
camp
do
camp
not.
platypus.
I do not go out of my way to look for that.
All right.
I don't think anyone
Camp
should
Rule
actually.
34. Google it. Ruin Issa's day.
Stop! No!
We are a family
I got
show,
a-
Chad.
I got a phone. I'm
God
not show-
fucking damn
I'm
it.
not
No.
I'm not showing it to them.
all
And this
right.
is going in my search history.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
Camp.
Oh no.
Anyway, season 4 is cool.
Yeah,
Good.
it's great.
We have 18 episodes this season.
Yeah.
So
and
Extra
don't look it up because
long.
that's a spoiler for episode 3 of season 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Right.
the Rule 34
Chad.
episode
yeah, Chad fucking.
called the platypussy's dick.
No. Oh, why is whoa? I don't know. Somehow I typed in Camp Rule 34 and I saw Robin getting
we
pounded
should
by
stop
a
doing this, or else my producers are gonna get mad at me for promoting this. I am not promoting in any way this kind of content.
Yes, I'm an adult.
Oh God! Stop!
Chad, stop!
Yes. His phone is destroyed. All right. Well,
fine.
Here's what happened. The second it loaded, my brain went, "Wait, you fool! They're all kids!" And I went, "No!" And
I said that.
I didn't even hear it. I went from that being like, haha, it'd
They're
be funny
10
if I could,
years old.
I was like, it'd be funny if I could find Rule 34 of the fucking platypus. I didn't even think about the. It's a horrible mistake. Okay, horrible mistake.
I'm gonna get a
And
talk
if you're
from.
drawing that stuff,
Don't.
shame on you.
I'm gonna get a talk from Maggie and Austin and Minnie about how I shouldn't have done this, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Welcome to the last episode of Death Metal Cast.
I'm really sorry.
All right, so just to wrap up our Camp Chem discussion, if there was any Camp Chem character who could be in a death battle, who do you think it should be?
Quartermaster 100%.
Oh yeah,
that's a good
absolutely.
pick.
Oh,
That's a good
100%.
pick.
Do you know how many hook attachments he has?
That's good.
That is a very good one.
Solid.
Yeah. Inception planted the seed of the idea in your mind
But
now.
who would he fight?
Inspector Gadget?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
That's tough.
That's a tough one. I mean, someone who I feel. Okay, I'm excited for you guys to watch this season because there's some crazy quartermaster shit coming up for sure.
Oh, there we go. We got some spoilers.
Okay.
Ha! Got some info.
If you're
now
gonna have
you're really
like,
in trouble.
if we're gonna have 4 seasons of something, I mean, we've been building on this quartermaster lore since season 1. So there's a couple of episodes where you kind of just like, oh, more quartermaster. Okay. All right, I guess I'll take it.
There we go.
And he's proving himself to be more adept at doing other things. He's
Wonderful.
He's quartermaster. There's a mystery around him,
Got it.
and you'll probably come out with more questions than answers.
My absolute favorite thing with quartermaster is when he's in the animal kingdom and like.
Oh
God, I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's really funny.
Oh, isn't that the first season?
It's the first season. Yeah. I love
The
it.
other first season thing too was he had a dildo attachment.
Great.
Right. Yeah.
I animated it. I had to animate it, and then I put the mosaic on top. I couldn't just mosaic it. I had to animate it first.
Right.
That was a lot of.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of that. For audio listeners.
And now
Brought
you're
a Chad.
directing it.
No.
That was
audio
why.
listeners don't have to know. They have to wonder for the rest of the day. What was
What
Chad
was
talking
that
about?
I don't. I'm just still so mad at my brain for not connecting those dots until too late, and I shouldn't have done that.
He shouldn't have. And
Shouldn't
no
have
one
done that.
should have. Let's erase this from your memory.
All right, so we'll
Great.
rewind the tape,
Yes.
right? We can just
Cut
right
it,
now,
slice
just
it out.
edit it
None of this
out.
happened.
Just edit it out.
And let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor, who I'm sure is very happy about the stuff.
About
that
the what
we're
led
talking
into
about.
this?
Why not?
Well, what a wholesome, great segment. Hey Ben, tell us about your
Oh
sponsor.
yes, I'm so glad that was such a nice little segment for all the kids at home.
It was.
All right, Bespoke Post. Thank you for sponsoring us. So, what is Bespoke Post? When you're constantly on the go, grinding away at the office or hanging out with friends, there's not always a lot of time to think about upgrading your style or your apartment. That's why getting the Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post delivered to you every month is a fantastic deal. They'll even help you figure out which boxes best fit your style and your vibe. Whether you're in search of the perfect drink, a well-kept pad, or jet-setting in style, the Box of Awesome lives up to its name and improves your life one box at a time. Bespoke Post offers essential goods and guidance for the modern man. Literally just go on their website, check out all the different stuff that they have available, and you can get a box every month that just kind of improves your life, from clothing to drinks to all sorts of stuff. Each box costs under $50, but has more than $70 worth of unique gear inside. On the first of each month, you'll receive an email detailing what's in your upcoming box, and you'll have 5 days, almost a whole week, to change colors and sizes or add extra goods to the box. You can completely customize it. And if you're just not really feeling it that month, you can just skip that box. So to receive 20% off your first subscription box, go to boxofawesome.com and enter the code BATTLECAST at checkout. I still think we should change our podcast name to BattleCast. It's cool. That's boxofawesome.com, code BATTLECAST for 20% off your first box. Bespoke Post, themed boxes for guys who give a damn. pretty good theming.
No, it's crazy. They have so much stuff. I was blown away.
Yes, it's really cool.
Go check it out.
At the very least, just check out their website to see what kind of stuff they have available, because there's a ton of stuff. It's a huge variety of things.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's time for the community death battle. And this week we're going with a suggestion by Liam, who was here last week, and one of our researchers and writers. And he wanted us to do Alucard from Hellsing versus Dio Brando.
Oof, vampire versus vampire.
Yes, a vampire fight. And this is one we've kind of talked about every so often. It's kind of a crazy one because both of them are very hard to kill and very powerful.
Yes.
Right.
So, as always, with Community Death Battle, we leave it up to you guys to let us know who you think should win and why using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. So let's go ahead and bring up the answer for Alucard from Aki B. And Aki says, I'm going to go with Alucard. He can fully regenerate from nothing as long as there's blood around. He can handle holy items with no issue. He can fix his weapons with his hair when damaged. And he can make a city-wide wave of blood and ghouls. Also, he kills vamps.
Yep.
So
This has been my thing forever. Every time we've talked about Alucard, I'm just like, how do you kill him? Unless we have somebody like Doom Guy or whatever who like specifically has like things that feed off of necro. But I don't even know if he uses
Doom Guy
that.
probably wouldn't, like his weapons probably wouldn't affect him that way.
Yeah.
'Cause he's not like a...
Not demon. I don't know. It's so weird. He just like the more you fuck him up, he just then goes like into the Black Beast and just absolutely annihilates you. Like or whatever. It's just
and yeah, I do want to reiterate that for community death battles, we haven't done the kind of research that we do with Death Battle. So I have no idea right now if something like one of Doom Guy's like anti-demon weapons would actually affect Alucard, but that would be something we would look into, I guess, for the actual death battle, even though Doom Guy's not part of it. But we do have an answer for Dio from Scary Smile.
Oh,
interesting name. So Scary Smile says,
hey, he delivered. Look at his profile pic.
Oh,
yes.
Nice. Dio wins. He has hypnosis, necromancy, zombies, flash freeze, flying, teleportation, infinite regeneration with blood, which is one of the big reasons why I think this is requested a lot. Laser eyes, and now add the world, his stand. And Alucard's army would just feed Dio and make him stronger. Also, Schrödinger revive isn't valid like Starscream.
I think that's when Alucard comes back. I don't remember.
Yeah. So they're both very powerful. They both use blood stuff.
They're both vampires.
Blood stuff.
And they can draw power from it.
I hate this fight. I just know it's gonna be such a pain in the ass.
God damn it, Liam.
I know we're gonna do it.
We're like, in Death Battle at some point.
I know we're gonna do it.
We did
And
a
it's just
DBX. Like the DBX is really cool.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to top that animation, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, just there we go. We
It's
saved a lot of
also
time.
just it's a good matchup, period. You know.
Yeah.
Vamp versus vamp.
It's gonna be such a pain in the ass. We did an AMA recently, and I had gotten the question that was just like, "What's your favorite death battle you worked on?" I talked about He-Man Lino and how much fun we had doing it, and then I was like, "What's your least favorite?" And I was like, probably Hulk versus Doomsday, just because, God, that
How back and forth that was for a long time.
forever.
Well, that was also one of those episodes that kept coming up.
Yeah.
Every year or so, we would talk about, should we do Hulk versus Doomsday this year? Oh, yeah, that would be good. Wait, how much time are we going to have to dedicate to really figuring out who can win this?
Yeah.
Because, that is something that we kind of have to think about. Like, it's impossible to really predict how much time it's going to take to do all the research and analysis and stuff. But for those characters in particular, that was one that I looked into multiple times, and it's kind of on my own time. And it's the unstoppable force and movable object kind of thing.
It's like Doomsday's been killed by like everything now, and it was like immune to like almost every way to die. Hulk gets like stronger the angrier he gets, and then him not being able to defeat someone makes him angrier, which then makes him strong. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I hated that argument. Like every time we thought we had it, then like
Something
but what about? And it's like that just kept going, and that's why I'm terrified of this fight because I just see this happening again, and it's gonna be awful.
This will definitely be a complicated one.
Yes.
It's a very complicated fight. But just at face value,
Who do you think?
how are you guys feeling? Who do you think might
So they
win?
both need blood to regenerate, right? That's what it
Well,
seems like.
I'm not personally very
Just going off of those
experienced with their
two
information.
answers.
It's been forever
That's what
since
it
I've seen
seems like.
Hellsing. But like, I'm just picturing
So Alucard does have blood manipulation.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know if he regenerates from blood. I'm pretty sure that's just his own power.
I think there's a part where he does, or he does like just like drink blood to and then heals real quick. But like,
canonically, Dio just doesn't die though. I mean, does he?
I don't know.
You guys familiar with the JoJo's?
No, I'm not. Sam researched
He kinda
JoJo.
He kind of does, but then like it's Dio too. I'm just.
Because if they both need blood, could
Still-
you just...
He'll just sew his head to another body. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that scene in Hellsing in the hallway where Alucard just unleashes like all of his shit and goes like full insane multi-eyed demon, and I'm just like, what do you do?
Dio does have the world, and Alucard wouldn't be able to see the world, right? Because in JoJo they're invisible unless you have your own stand.
Right, but what if I could absolutely see there be something in the manga where it's like, and this is when Alucard can see ghosts, like, and then you know what I mean?
Similar to how Kenshiro, we did the
he
fight
just
with
sensed
Kenshiro
the presence,
and he can sense the presence of living beings, so he
yes.
could kind of see them, but not really. So maybe Alucard has something like that. Alucard could also throw some goop on the world and be like, there he is.
And I just so funny. I love that his stand's called the world because it just makes dumb states. Like he can just throw some goop on the world.
Yep.
Yeah, the mental image of that for me was just like, oh, What, I can believe that, yes.
I don't know. I'm just only because like I didn't ever do JoJo's. I'm just gonna vote Alucard because I really liked Hellsing.
Sure.
Because I cannot answer this at all.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to come up with a very solid argument at this one moment.
Yeah.
But I do think it seems like Alucard will have a better chance of overwhelming Dio right now, just by how much power he holds. But at the same time, Dio does have his stand and his time manipulation, so stopping powers and things like that.
Yeah.
So Dio might be able to find a way around the overwhelming power. He's smart. He's tricky.
Yeah.
Like he could probably get around Alucard's more powerful attacks, but I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, I could subscribe to that. You know, smash that like button, etc., etc.
So we got a vote for Alucard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna vote Alucard.
Vote for Dio. Josh.
I want to vote for Alucard because I like the reverse Dracula name.
All right.
And
Simple man.
Soul. There we are.
Simple man.
What's great is like there's always somebody that didn't know that, so you totally just blew someone's mind. Like
Wonderful.
It's not a palindrome, but what is it called?
when
when
it's
it's just
backwards?
reversed?
When it's just reversed like that.
a backwards name.
Backwards.
A backwards name. He's got a backwards name. I like
Good one, Josh. I'd actually vote for Dio.
it. Okay.
Oh,
Then you
shit.
convinced me.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. But we have a tie,
Okay,
which means that this really does come down to.
I hope it's 50-50.
Oh my god, that would be great. We have had that before.
Yeah.
That'd
All
be
right,
awesome.
let's go ahead and see the poll from you guys voting, and the winner is.
Oh!
Nice.
Well. All right, reverse name people.
Nailed it.
Reverse
You got
name
it.
people. Reverse other things too. Wink, wonk, honk, honk. Thanks for laughing, guys.
Yeah,
Nice.
You're so funny, Issa.
Thank you. Watch Camp Camp. Please don't tell anyone I brought up Rule 34.
You're so funny. It was really nice working with you.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much. You won't see me after today.
Oh, no. You got one episode directed.
I know, yeah.
At least you got one.
That's it. Just
There's
one in the bag, one in the bag.
If there's ever a show that it's okay, like again, not to look at, don't do that.
Don't do
but
it.
Why,
very
wait,
vulgar-
where are you
they're-
going?
I realize
where
that's
are you
why-
going with this.
Because they're very vulgar in Camp Camp. If there was a
Okay.
show that would bring up the concept of Rule 34, not of themselves, but like it would happen in that show.
Sure. Okay, I kind of understand. It is
Man,
not.
that was great.
Josh
Oh,
and I
Ben,
just
you're
like
like-
looked at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
It is not. It may be an animated show featuring kids, but it is not like a kids show.
It is an adult show.
Here's our
more
pitch.
South
It's South
Park-esque.
Park.
Not that
It's South
adult.
Park with Gravity Falls, but with South Park. So
There you go.
here's our
Yeah,
pitch.
that's pretty good.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Okay, so we gotta set up our next week's community death battle.
Quartermaster.
Issa, do you think there is a character that would be great to pit against Quartermaster?
Oh, fudge.
Who else has a good hook?
Oh, who else has
Captain
a good
Hook.
Captain
Well,
Hook.
Aquaman has a hook sometimes, right?
Aquaman would fuck his shit up, and you know it. There's no way.
Hey, no, there's an episode where you find out that Quartermaster had sex with some kind of mermaid creature.
Oh, yeah. And that's how
and
we
he
start
had
the
a
fight.
son.
Is he Aquaman's dad? We'll see.
Who knows?
You do. You know. Cervantes, maybe? No, I think that's Cervantes. I'm just like,
Cervantes is Soul Edge.
yeah, that would.
Oh, wow. This threw me for a loop. Who would Quartermaster be really good against?
I mean, if he's got the different attachments, we could do Inspector Gadget.
We could.
We could do
Inspector Gadget can fly.
Yeah, but he's also super incompetent.
This is
so
true.
It'll be an interesting.
So no penny and brain?
I just want
No penny
season
and brain.
4, like the episodes to come out already, because there's something that happens, and I'm just like, guys, man, you don't understand. Quartermaster has a chance.
He now has a
Okay.
motorized.
Then we could save Quartermaster for later,
Right.
and we could do the one that we set up, which is the Camp Trio, the kids, versus the Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
That's good.
Yeah,
My first guess for that was actually going to be the trio of kids from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, that's fun.
yeah.
The ones that
That's
they're
pretty
in
good
the
too.
bathtub,
We'll
but
stick with this
This is
one.
pretty good. This is I enjoy this one.
So let us know who you think would win a death battle between these two trios. I mean, we did talk about
Child battle.
there's some child
Yeah,
murder
we
in death
talked
battle
about
so
that,
often.
yes,
So like we're no stranger to that.
How'd that feel to say?
I think what got me was the stutter at the end, Ben.
So let us know who you think would win using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. We will have a poll up on the Death Battle Twitter account on Thursday when this goes up on YouTube. That's at Death Battle on Twitter. Easy to find.
Can I throw something out for this battle? Because what if we just stick to the TV show for Huey, Dewey, and Louie? The two DuckTales TV shows. And the reason I'm saying that is because you know how insane those old comics are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I just from thinking of Scrooge, and then if they were in the comics later, I know they'll have done some absurd shit.
Oh, I don't really remember. We did do Scrooge McDuck in a death battle before, and yeah.
Oh, really?
He has crazy feet.
Oh yeah, he was chained to two industrial smokestacks and just ripped them down.
Oh yeah, he tore apart. I think it was a whole battleship.
Yeah.
With his bare fists, Hulk style.
I'm also thinking of Huey Dewey from Kingdom Hearts and how they sell stuff to Sora. So I'm just like, they have access to all of these weapons and potions and shit.
All right, that's fair.
just the two DuckTales
I mean,
TV
it's a
shows.
Camp cartoon versus
show
the
versus-
DuckTales cartoons.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. So just the cartoon iterations. Let us know using hashtag DeathBattleCast. We'll talk about it next week. Maybe your kids are gonna win. Maybe they're gonna get
Yes, my
Destroyed by
children.
Yeah, maybe your kids will win or they'll die. Regardless, you're fired, so who cares?
Yeah. I won't be here tomorrow.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of Death Battle Cast. If you have not seen Camp, definitely check it out. It is hilarious.
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 Way to carry that ball past the goal line, man. That was as close to a sports reference as I could make.
Thank you for joining us, Issa.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I had fun.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.